Deep Dive, the show that, well, cuts through the noise and gets straight to the heart of what you need to know.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're setting our sights squarely on Nigeria, specifically that charged atmosphere building up to the 2027 elections.
Yeah, I can really feel it building.
There's this palpable sense of anticipation for change, a widespread longing among many Nigerians for a new direction. And because of that, there's a lot of buzz, around new political alignments forming behind the scenes.
That's right. And that's precisely what we're going to unpack today. Our deep dive is focused on the formation of the National Opposition Coalition Group, or NOCG,
NOCG, right.
and their very strategic decision to adopt the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, as their unified political party for those upcoming 2027 elections. It's a significant move.
And right at the center of this new coalition, a truly pivotal figure has emerged. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal. You might have heard his name in the headlines, maybe.
Yeah.
But do you know the full story? His journey, his motivations, the sheer breadth of his influence.
Well, that's our mission today, isn't it? To dig into the sources you've provided and give you a comprehensive, sort of nuanced look at Babachir David Lawal, his fascinating background, his evolving political vision, his undeniable influence within the opposition, and really what this strategic move with the ADC truly signifies for Nigeria's political landscape moving forward. We want to go beyond just the sound bites.
Exactly. So if you're out there listening and maybe rooting for real change in 2027, if you're curious about the potential architects of that change, and you want to truly understand the key players driving this movement, this deep dive is crafted specifically for you.
Yeah.
We're here to give you those crucial insights you need to be truly well-informed about one of Nigeria's, well, most intriguing political strategists right now.
Absolutely. He's definitely one to watch.
Okay, let's unpack this intriguing figure then, Babachir David Lawal. Starting with the sheer breadth of his background. It goes so far beyond what you might expect from a typical political career, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's quite remarkable, actually, how many different paths he considered and, pursued before finding his current calling.
How does that diverse early life inform the figure we see today?
Well, the sources indicate he initially started with aspirations to be a soldier. He even attended military college.
A soldier, wow.
Yeah, think about that discipline, that sort of structured thinking it instills. Then, quite surprisingly, he pivoted. He was, for a period, a seminarian, an aspirant
A
priest.
seminarian, that's quite a shift.
Isn't it? It suggests a period of, well, deep reflection, maybe establishing a moral compass that would later define his public life. But ultimately, he changed course again, attended the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, became a certified electrical engineer.
So soldier, priest, aspirant, engineer.
Right. This isn't just a list of sequential jobs. It really illustrates a journey. Varied interests, intellectual curiosity, a willingness to explore different callings before he finally transitioned, from engineering into a successful career as a businessman and ultimately a politician of national stature.
That breadth of experience must give him a unique lens.
I think so.
Yeah.
A unique lens through which he approaches these really complex national issues.
And at 71 years old, the source describes him as someone who is clearly still a very active force, still someone to be reckoned with.
Very much so.
Beyond that impressive journey, what personal attributes do the sources highlight? What allows him to maintain this intense level of engagement?
Well, the material we have makes it clear he's noted for being strong-willed, highly opinionated, confident, and very forthright.
His mince words, perhaps.
Seems like it. There's a very visible and very strong sense of self-worth that comes through in his public statements. What's more, the sources tell us he's financially stable and physically healthy, which is, absolutely crucial for someone operating at this level of political rigor.
Absolutely essential.
And he's also characterized as a bold and fearless advocate for a fair and equitable Nigerian polity.
Bold and fearless.
Yes. So this combination, personal strength, diverse experience, and a clear moral compass, seems central to his public persona and how he approaches the intricate challenges of governance. He's not easily swayed, it seems.
Right. Okay, moving from his personal journey, let's look at his political evolution, because it's quite a transformation, isn't it?
It really is.
Babachir David Lawal wasn't always an opposition figure. Far from it. He played absolutely significant roles within the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC.
Deep inside?
Roles that were instrumental to their 2015 presidential victory and his subsequent appointment as Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the SGF. He was deep in the heart of it.
Absolutely. His roots within the APC were deep, very deep.
Can you walk us through some of those early roles?
Sure. He served as the state coordinator for the Buhari Campaign Organization. That was from 2005 to 2010. Then he was a member of the Congress for Progressive Change, the CPC's National Contact and Mobilization Committee from 2010 to 2013. He was a key player in the APC Merger Committee in 2013, then an ex officio member of the APC Interim Management Committee, and ultimately rose to APC National Vice Chairman for the Northeast from 2014 to 2015.
So not just a bystander, an architect, really.
Definitely an architect of the party's initial success. He was dedicated to its change slogan back then.
But then something shifted.
Yes. What's particularly insightful from the sources is that despite this deep dedication to the APC's initial promise, Lawal reached a crucial turning point. The source says he quickly rebelled when, in his perception, the party's leadership began to slide into, well, the words used are unabashed ethno-religious suprematism and cronyism.
Strong words.
Very strong. And for someone who had been a seminarian, whose background reflects this pursuit of fairness, this was clearly a fundamental breach of principle, something he simply couldn't tolerate.
And that marked his transition from insider to...
To a vocal critic, yes. His perspective on the failures of the Buhari government is also quite clear, very direct. He attributes them to incompetent provincial appointees who, in his view, deprived President Buhari of his advisory shield and policy guidance after Lawal's own removal as SGF.
So he sees a direct link between his removal and policy failures.
That seems to be his contention, yes.
Well,
that this lack of competent, diverse counsel led to significant policy missteps. And his criticism extends to the present administration, too. He's been a vocal opponent of the current Tinubu-led APC government, describing its practices as, and again, these are strong words, condemnable, arrogant, unabashed provinciality, and ethnocentric imbalance.
Wow. So a consistent theme there of imbalance and provinciality.
Yes, it suggests a consistent and, you could say, principled stand against what he views as misgovernance, and an unwavering commitment to equitable representation.
And throughout all this, his core commitment seems remarkably consistent. A dedication to justice, inclusive politics,
Exactly.
and a strong belief that peaceful coexistence and sustainable national development are only attainable through the guarantees of cultural and religious balance.
It's a very consistent thread, you're right. It really distinguishes him from many other figures that persistent focus on balance and justice.
Okay, so what the sources reveal next about these principles of justice and equity, it's particularly compelling. It's clear they're not just talking points for him.
No, not at all.
They've actively shaped his decisions in very tangible ways, even when it's politically inconvenient. Can you walk us through a key example?
Absolutely. A prime example, and a really telling one, is his strong stance against the APC's Muslim presidential ticket back in the day.
Right, I remember that causing quite a stir.
It did. And he explicitly stated that this decision disdained and marginalized the non-Muslim population. Now think about it. For an individual who was so deeply embedded in the APC structure, a prominent Northern Muslim himself, taking such a public, firm position against his own party's choice, that demonstrates a profound commitment to his principles of inclusivity over, well, political expediency.
That definitely sends a message.
It does. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, his actions speak even louder in defining these principles. The source highlights his support for Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party.
Obi from the Southeast.
Exactly, from the Southeast. And Lawal supported him specifically for the sake of power rotation equity.
Can you explain that concept briefly for our listeners? Power rotation equity.
Sure. It's a key, albeit informal, principle in Nigerian politics. It basically advocates for the presidency to rotate among the country's diverse geopolitical zones. The idea is to ensure national unity, give every region a sense of belonging, a shot at the top job.
And Lawal supported Obi on this principle.
Even when other northern candidates were on the ballot.
Yes.
Which clearly demonstrates why the source says he cannot be pigeonholed as a regional champion.
Despite being critical of unfairness to the North sometimes.
Precisely. His grievances seem rooted in a broader advocacy for inclusive governance across the entire country. It transcends regional or religious lines.
So this raises an important question then. What's his core belief about the very nature of power itself? How should it be wielded?
That's a great question. And the sources suggest he deeply believes that power should not be grabbed and snatched just because one can. Instead, he advocates for greater emphasis to be placed on fairness, character, and competence in leadership selection.
Fairness, character, competence.
Exactly. And this viewpoint aligns closely with the widely held view here at Often that Nigeria's fundamental problem stems from systemic leadership failures, impunity, and institutional decay.
So he's connecting the dots there.
Yes. It's clear he's not just a political activist reacting to things. He's actively trying to shape the discourse on what good governance should actually look like, pushing for a merit-based, equitable system rather than one based purely on might or sectionalism.
Okay, so if we were to summarize his political philosophy,
Right.
it's broad, deeply nationalistic,
Yes.
and consistently centered on instituting equity and balance in government, the goal being a stronger, truly united Nigeria.
That sums it up well. He seems to be playing the long game for a better system, not just short-term gains for a specific region or group.
That's a powerful distinction to make. Now let's talk about influence and networks, because these are absolutely critical, aren't they, to understanding Babachir David Lawal's strategic force behind this ADC challenge.
Crucial. Politics is networks.
His professional background is fascinating in itself. He worked at esteemed organizations like Delta Steel Company, Nigerian External Telecommunications Limited, Nenitel, and Data Sciences Nigeria Limited.
Right, big names.
Before establishing his own successful company, Rollavision Engineering Limited, these experiences must have helped him develop incredibly deep connections.
To Nigeria's business and political elite.
Absolutely. Long before he became, a household political name, he was already connected.
What's particularly compelling here, though, is not just that he knows people, but the sheer breadth and depth of his network and how he leverages it.
Exactly. It's about the quality and reach. The source details his unfettered access to former presidents, vice presidents, military leaders, and top policymakers.
Unfettered access, that's significant.
It is, and it doesn't stop there. Traditional rulers, religious leaders too. This isn't just about shaking hands at events. It's about having cultivated a level of trust and respect over decades. That allows him to quietly broker difficult deals, maybe negotiate across traditional divides.
Or even secure funding. Or even secure crucial financial backing that other opposition groups might really struggle to access. This credibility across diverse sectors of Nigerian society allows him to operate as a central, trusted figure in these complex political negotiations.
And this extensive network is directly tied to his current status, right? As a major stakeholder in the African Democratic Congress, the ADC.
Yes, which, as we mentioned, is the adopted party of the National Opposition Coalition Group, the NOCG.
He's the bridge builder.
The source explicitly says he effectively acts as a bridge between different political ambitions, interests, and egos within the NOCG. It specifically mentions his regular engagements with top leadership figures, people like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Nasir el-Rufai, Rotimi Amaichi, Rauf Arigbisola.
That's a powerful list of names. Diverse figures.
Very diverse, and engaging with all of them really highlights his pivotal role in bringing these often disparate opposition voices together under a unified banner for 2027.
And his strategic goal here, as outlined in the sources, it's undeniably ambitious.
Extremely ambitious.
To guide the ADC to victory in the 2027 election, and crucially, to engineer a new framework for the just, equitable, and good governance of the country.
It's about systemic change, you see. Not just winning a single election cycle.
What are the sources saying about the potential impact of such an endeavor? Can it actually work?
Well, that's the million-naira question, isn't it? What's the potential impact of this grand strategy? The widespread opinion, according to the sources we have, is that his work with the NOCG and the ADC could become one of the most pivotal political operations in Nigeria.
One of the most pivotal. Why? What makes it potentially so different?
The insight here isn't just that it could be pivotal, but why? His unique ability to straddle religious and ethnic divides, something we've discussed, combined with his deep connections across different political factions. It positions this coalition as potentially the first in a long time to genuinely appeal to a broad national electorate rather than just regional blocs.
A truly national coalition.
That seems to be the aim. And the sources suggest that if this strategy is assiduously implemented, it could lead to a renewal of hope in Nigeria's democracy and in the economic and social rebirth of the country.
Renewal of hope. That's significant.
It is. It's a very high-stakes political endeavor, clearly, with the potential for significant national impact, particularly, for those Nigerians yearning for a fundamental shift in how the country is governed.
Okay, beyond the political machinations, though, it's worth shedding some light on his other pursuits. We mentioned his business background,
Right.
specifically his entrepreneurial ventures and his ongoing public advocacy. He's not just a politician, he's a successful businessman. Vision Engineering Limited. His company is described as a well-established outfit in IT and engineering services.
Yeah, Vision Engineering isn't just a side project. It's described as a very successful venture that has made a name for itself in a competitive sector.
What kind of impact has it had?
Well, what's fascinating is how his business acumen seems to extend into other areas, areas with significant social impact. He's made substantial investments in agriculture, operating a large-scale farm in Adamawa State. It integrates both crop farming and cattle husbandry.
Interesting combination.
But it's his forward-thinking approach to cattle ranching that really stands out in the source material. He aims to pilot the modernization of animal husbandry.
Modernization? How so?
By facilitating the transition away from freeland cattle grazing, which, as you know, is a major contributor to the pervasive and often deadly farmer-herder feuds across the country.
A huge issue.
A huge issue. He's aiming for a more animal and environment-friendly, sustainable model. Ranching. This isn't just about profit. It seems to be about actively addressing a critical national issue that deeply affects social stability and food security.
That's quite visionary, tackling that issue head-on through business.
It certainly seems practical and forward-looking.
And his public advocacy, how does that fit in?
Equally impactful, according to the sources. His media presentations aren't just him venting opinions. They provide genuine insights into past events, leadership performances, and regional power dynamics.
Giving context.
Exactly. And the source notes that he counters propaganda with his trademark bold and unapologetic manner, leaving no doubt about where he stands. He doesn't shy away.
Bold and unapologetic again. That seems to be a recurring theme.
It does. And finally, if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, his personal integrity is consistently highlighted as a cornerstone of his character.
How so?
The sources describe him as a well-respected Christian family man with a stable marital life and a person of high moral rectitude, which they directly link back to his seminarian background.
That moral compass we talked about earlier.
Precisely. He is specifically noted for being untainted by the debauched scandals common in top business and political circuits in Nigeria.
That's, quote, noteworthy in itself.
It really is, particularly in a political landscape often plagued by corruption allegations. His ability, as the source puts it, to maintain a balanced perspective on personal and public life reinforces his image. The image of a leader who perhaps prioritizes principle and service over personal gain or, social frivolities, it lends significant credibility to his political endeavors.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, our listener? Especially as you look towards 2027, we've journeyed through this comprehensive profile of Babachir David Lawal, from his incredibly diverse personal background, soldier, seminarian, engineer, businessman, quite a mix.
Quite a mix indeed.
To his strategic political acumen and his, what seems to be, unwavering commitment to justice and equity in Nigeria. He's clearly a figure shaped by a unique blend of experiences and convictions.
Indeed. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that even at 71, he remains an expert engineer of political strategies. He's a key player, undeniably, in shaping Nigeria's future, particularly through these efforts with the ADC and the NOCG trying to influence the 2027 elections.
He's not just reacting then.
No, he's not just reacting to the political climate. He seems to be actively constructing a new pathway for potential change, aiming to unite these disparate forces for a common goal, a revitalized Nigeria.
Right. And this leaves us with a provocative thought, perhaps, for you to ponder. Babachir David Lawal's profile truly blends these attributes. A soldier's discipline, maybe, a seminarian's moral compass, a businessman's strategic pragmatism, and a politician's drive.
All rolled into one.
All rolled into this singular vision for a revitalized and prosperous Nigeria. So for you, our listener, thinking about all this, what specific blend of these diverse experiences do you think is most crucial for the leadership Nigeria needs in its next phase of governance?
Yeah, which part of that background matters most now?
It's definitely a question worth pondering as the political landscape continues to evolve towards 2027.